live.
Good day, everyone. We got Abraham Carranza coming to you from my mastermind. We got
Taha, Habib here.
And Emily Carranza.
And Gillis.
Hope everybody's having a great, phenomenal week. We wanted to do a live stream webinar for you guys. Kind of introduce you to some of the things that we're working on. Maybe some of you may be wondering, what do we do? How do we do it? And what is it that's really motivating us to do what we do, right? This week's topic has been relatively about auto-suggestion, and we've been combining that with responsibility, so we understand what it is that we do and really what it takes to change your life, to get the results that you want, to manifest the things you want. Relatively, whenever we're having problems or we see them as problems, we see them as maybe hurdles we want to overcome. A lot of that is what you're seeing is a production of subconscious programming. You're seeing circumstances, you're seeing things outside of you, and we're going to switch the way you think about that, and we're going to help you overcome that today. Really, we're going to give you some demonstrations and just bring awareness and understanding to who and what we really are, and what'll help us jump over, run through, break through, however you want to say it, breaking the terror barrier, and really live a fulfilled life, right? I'm going to kind of just touch lightly on some of the things that we're doing today. Yesterday, we flew out to Shreveport, Louisiana. We've got a project we've been working on. Everything begins in the mind. Everything ends in the mind. If it ever ends, we flatline. We're no longer here, right? So understanding the mind is one of the most crucial things that you could ever have, and you could really be consciously aware of what you're doing. You see, we are consciously creating every day, all day long, but majority of the people are really just not aware of what they're thinking about and what they're bringing about. They're not really consciously creating and building the life that they really want. They become victims. They become victims of circumstance. They become victims of circumstances, and we're going to show you why that happens. We're also going to give you illustrations of how to break through this vicious cycle and how to stay on track. We set a target some months ago, and we're moving in that direction. We have a manufacturing company. We're moving forward, and we're going to be doing domestic building on tanks and vessels and whatnot. And it all began in the mind. It began with a decision, and then forward moving and actions taken towards those, right? So when we say auto-suggestion, what is auto-suggestion? I had an idea, I had a vision. The minute I had it, I knew I wanted it, started to act on it. And the people, the places, the plots, and the circumstances, they just started lining up. Did this happen by accident? No. It happened because, and the only time it happens is when you have things in the right order. Heaven's first law is order. When we have our minds in the right order, things seem to just fall into place. So that's going to be moving your mind into the imagination, moving into the direction where infinite possibilities are present, right? And we can do that by establishing and directing our mind, our thoughts, to the directive. The directive was, how can we provide more value for our companies and everything we do? Some of you may not know all the things we do. We have several companies. One, of course, personal development, because we live and breathe this. You guys are following us. You're seeing our livelihood. You're seeing everything that we're doing. You're seeing the things that we're accomplishing. We have several companies. We're in marketing. We're in manufacturing companies. We're in retail. We're in trading, stock trading. We're in commercial building. We're in real estate. So there's several different things. There's more things beyond that. We're in software company. So it's many different things that we're doing, and we're creating all day long. We enjoy doing this, and this is what we do. We love doing it. And we're helping people as well how to break out of their norm. We're helping them achieve their goals, whatever you want, whatever the mind can conceive and believe. you can achieve. And this is what we do. We're building our own assets. We're building our own ventures. We're creating the circumstances all day long, every day. This is what we do. And in doing that, it all begins with our mind.
A lot of people, what happens is a lot of people, I don't know if you guys can hear me. It's raining here, pouring rain. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
So a lot of, most of the time, we know we have everything within us and we create, but we create unconsciously. We create based off of the belief and perception that has been given to us by environment, by family, by culture, by religion, by our, past generation through our DNA. So what we do here is we help people consciously create and consciously create the life that they desire, consciously create the places that they want to go and they want to experience. So to what Abraham said, complete what he's saying is we help people consciously create the life that is fulfilled and that is fulfilled. So a lot of us are different, have a different journey and different path, but we all have a definite purpose. And when you start understanding that definite purpose and start understanding why you're here and what you're here to do, the life is going to be exciting and enjoyable.
Exactly.
And you're being fulfilled. One of the most important things, right?
Right.
Exactly. Well, and the biggest thing that people run into, and you can look into your own life, is getting stuck in the daily trivia, right? So many people get stuck in our day-to-day tasks and things that we believe we have to do every day. And the thing is we are stuck there because we believe that's what we have to be at, right? That we need to do these certain things every day, all day long. But the thing is we can shift that, we can change that. And that's only because we're stuck in living really in the past in a way, right? And really in other people's visions of what they want for us, what they want us to do, instead of our own vision for ourselves. So to shift that, we really, like they're talking about, is really must know what it is we want, get that clarity of vision. Where is it you want to go? When you have that direction, that focus of, okay, this is what I want to create for myself, this is what I want to be, then you start to consciously create and control the outcome of your days and ultimately your life. And then there, of course, your results in your life, and you'll start attracting new people, new places, new things, more income. Everything becomes a new byproduct of what you start to focus on and what you start to change the habitual habits of. Because if you're on that autopilot, you're going to only continue getting the same results you've been getting for
year after year.
Yeah, for however long. It could be 20, for some people, 20, 30, 40 years. Others are more
Their whole
fortunate.
life.
Only been, your entire life. And really, ultimately, 98, probably more like 99% of people are actually on that autopilot. We are acting and reacting to our days based off of the pre-existing programming. We're not actually consciously creating and controlling, right? So what Abraham and Taha right now are doing is a byproduct of their creation, right? And it's continuing to create. And from that conscious thought and this idea, from that seed, that thought that was planted, now their idea is coming into life and it's growing. It's like a baby coming to life.
Yep. And it's beautiful. It's great. I mean, doing things, building companies, it's very satisfying. One of the biggest things that I want to bring together here is auto-suggestion. How has that changed our life? Can you give us some illustrations? Well, first let's touch, Emily, can you give us paradigm?
Yes,
A lot of people don't know what a paradigm is. So shoot, Em.
Okay. Okay, so for those of you that don't know what a paradigm is going to be a multitude of habits that have almost exclusive control over your behaviors, and almost all behaviors are habitual. Now, what that's saying is that we need to become more aware, and that's why this has a really big part to do with auto-suggestion, because if we're not aware of what we're thinking and our thoughts, then we aren't consciously creating. And that's why we really need to understand what a paradigm is because we already have a list of operating instructions that we go off of. And these were given to us from the age 0 to 7. And if we want to start changing and getting the results that we actually want, we have to have auto-suggestion to be able to go back and change those paradigms and those beliefs and habits to ultimately start thinking and achieving the results that we want and desire.
Great. So we want to go beyond the paradigm. If we want to go beyond this program, again, that program is a massive information. A lot of people call that, well, that's my character and that's my identity. Well, if that's the way you think, you're stuck, my friend. Yep, that's the way it's going to be. Because your character and your identity is a formulation of preconditioned mind, preconditioned thoughts, preconditioned behaviors. And that is what is controlling your reality. If you don't believe me, look at the results. The results always tell the truth. You cannot deny them. If we want to go beyond this massive information, if we want to go beyond this program, each and every one of you have felt it, and each and every one of you have known it. You get to the tip of the ladder and you fall back down. You get to the tip of the ladder, you think you're going to go overcome it, you fall back down. You're in this vicious cycle, this circle, this wheel. A lot of people, the hamster wheel. But guess what? That's the program. That's the limited beliefs. And they're holding you in that mechanism. If you want to go beyond that, you've got to go beyond what you've learned before. Yes. And that's where we start stepping into auto-suggestion, right? I mean, let's touch on auto-suggestion.
Auto-suggestion is suggestion from yourself to yourself. Basically, you know, mind is always moving, and when you can suggest the things that you want to yourself, and you impress that suggestion to your subconscious mind, your subconscious mind take it, and you start believing in it, and you start living it. So auto-suggestion is very important. I've done it, and I still write affirmation, and I still auto-suggest things that I want. And through repetition, you start changing your belief, and changing your old belief with new beliefs that what you're capable of doing and who you are and what you are.
It alters the behavior, which alters the pattern plan. That's where majority of people get it wrong. Right. They get it wrong. It alters the behavior, therefore altering the pattern plan. You're not getting what you're getting by accident. You're getting it because that's who you are at the moment. Right. If you want to go past that, you've got to be that something else, right? So we have a conditioned mind. This auto-suggestion, it is a suggestion from myself to myself. Now, how powerful is that? Let's think about it. How often do you give yourself a suggestion and you actually complete it? Really ask yourself that. Then ask yourself, how often do I think in advance? How often do I think the next 24 hours, what I'm going to create? How many of you have pre-wrote out where you're going, what you're doing, how you're going to do it, and it's in a completely different direction of what you have right now? Really ask yourself that question. And when you start to do that, you're going to start to see why your results are the way they are, month after month, year after year, and so on and so on. Hopefully it's not your full life, right?
Yes.
So
can I add something to that?
Sure.
Okay, that's also kind of, I want to touch just a little bit lightly on what Abraham just said, because it's very important. It has a lot also to do with your self-image. If you're not changing your self-image, you're not going to get different results. A lot of people will try to go here, but they ultimately always end up back. And that's because they don't change the self-image. And that's why it's so very, very important, which is why auto-suggestion as well is very important, because you ultimately, you can't surpass your self-image. You're always going to come back to it. So if you want to get here, you need to move up here.
Yep. You cannot outperform the self-image. You're spinning your wheels, and you felt it, when you're hitting the limitations of your level of awareness. That's all it is. But you've hit it whenever you're burning out, and you keep trying, you keep getting the same results. So if you want to go beyond that, you've got to be willing and able to. We came into a body that was learning. The truth of the fact is you got to be willing and able to learn, and then relearn, right?
Well, here's the thing to also remember. The two primary ways of to change our lives through reprogramming is either emotional impact or repetition, right? That's why we're saying autosuggestion is so crucial, is because it's through the repetition of this new idea, right? So either like you can utilize affirmations and different things like that, but you're coming at a point as if it's already happened, right? Really bringing forth the new reality, right? You can like jump, you can think about it vibrational frequencies, right? The way you're thinking, your thoughts, it's like a radio wave being sent out. And whatever is in alignment with that, in harmony with that radio wave, that's what you're attracting, you're pulling into yourself. So if we want to experience anew, we have to go to a different vibrational frequency, a new thought wave, right? A new way.
How do we do that?
Well, you shift. Go ahead.
How can we go to that? Some people may call it the ladder. How can we go up this ladder? How can we raise our level of awareness? Where do we need to go?
The imagination.
One more time. I think I said it at the same time.
Sorry, Gillis.
You're fine. Go for it.
The imagination.
Good. So the imagination is stepping up. You're going beyond what has gone before. And that imagination gives you what? What does it give you?
Well, here's another thing. Yeah, creation. Well, it's
creativity.
If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. And it's whatever you're giving energy to that you're ultimately creating for yourself. So the more we give energy to the things we want, right? So utilizing that imagination, creating the idea and the identity and the person that you want to be, that you already are. You just don't believe yourself to be able to be it yet, right? That's the biggest thing, is you already are whatever you want to be. You're infinite. You can create and achieve and experience anything. It's all based off your underlying beliefs.
And
so
that's going to,
go ahead.
Yeah, that's taking us to responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Whose responsibility?
It's our own.
Our own. Each and every one of us. Every time we put blame on something outside of us, what does that do for us?
What's that victim?
You become a victim. Yep. It's a victim's mentality. It's a victim. Let's look at the majority of individuals. They're always saying their limited beliefs, limitations of themselves. They're always the victim. That's the wrong way of thinking. There's no responsibility in that. But when we start to take responsibility in our own selves and our own lives and who and what we are, now we become what? More powerful to change and evolve that. When we take personal responsibility, now we have the keys to the kingdom. Now we can say, you know what? If this is not the life I chose, this is not the life I want to live, then it is only my responsibility, and it is through my abilities and my inner self that I can change that.
Exactly.
Right?
And you can think about it like a teeter-totter. The more you're giving energy towards the things that you're wanting, you're so it's like balancing, right? You keep going back and forth between the things you don't want and things you want. And the more you give energy to the things you do want, that's what's solidifying, right? That is what's coming into reality. But if you really look into your days and your life, how many times are you thinking about and are you creating in your mind, in that imagination, the things you don't want, right? We create and we come up with these elaborate ideas of really self-sabotage of the things we don't want. And instead of really just emotionalizing and getting connected with really what we want, because that's ultimately, and if you notice, the more we think about those negative things, that's when we start experiencing the things we don't want.
That's all you run into all day long.
Because that's what you're in harmony and alignment with at that time, right? So whatever you're thinking about, you're bringing about.
Yep. When we start taking this responsibility, when an individual starts taking responsibility for their lives and the results they are obtaining, what happens? They will cease to blame others as the cause of the results. You will cease to blame the circumstances. You will cease to blame your family, your friends, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your wife, your husband. You see, when you take personal responsibility, all of a sudden, the keys to the kingdom have changed. Everything's changed, right? You flip the coin. Now you have the power to do whatever it is that you choose in life. But you've got to be responsible, right?
Decide.
Blaming others causes a person to remain bound. If we blame someone outside, if we blame something outside of the first cause, which is us, but if we blame someone else, what happens? We're in a prison.
Oh, yeah.
And the person almost remains there without even knowing it.
You're giving your power away.
You give your power away. That's why a majority of people stay stuck. They also stay stuck from what? Poverty of what? Poverty of the imagination. Weakness of the mind, of your focus. So we have to take personal responsibility for our lives, personal responsibility for our results. The results always tell the truth. And if you want to go beyond that, this is what we have to do. This is what we teach, right? This is what we live. We don't just teach something. We are the product. I am the product, right? So we've been, each and every one of us, I worked alongside with each and every one of everyone here on this call, and we're all growing, right?
Yeah, and I want to tell everyone that who are watching this video, you know, you didn't come here to suffer or live a life that you don't want, and you know, just live 50, 60, 100 years and you know, sit down and think why you didn't have things that you wanted to have, or live a life, happy, prosper life. You came here to live an abundance life and reach every goal or everything that you want in life. Yeah, you came here to grow, and with us, with our institute, we'll help you grow, and we'll help you to achieve the things that a lot of people call a dream, but we'll help you make your dream come true. I've done it. Abraham has done it, and we want to help as much as people that we can to live in happy, healthy, and wealthy life.
Yes, definitely more fulfillment, right? As far as classes and programs we have, you're interested in anything that we're doing here, give us a call, shoot us a message. We have scaling classes all week long, and the reason we do that is because I know just as well as you know, everything must become a new behavior and everything must become a new habit. If you want to replace the preconditioned reality, if you want to replace your results, it's got to become a part of your permanent behavior. So we have classes Monday through Friday, every day. Stay on track, and so that we're continually growing. Otherwise, once again, you're a product of your 24 hours. That's all there is to it. Everybody gets the same amount of time. It's what you do within the amount of time that distinguishes the man or woman.
Thank you.
So, you guys have anything? Anything else?
I think that's great. I just want to conclude with, remember, as I always like to say, master the mind, master your reality, always leaving you with an impression increase.
Yes.
Thank you.
Definitely get involved, and we're here to help you and help you get to achieve whatever it is that you want.
Awesome. Take care, everyone.
All right, everyone have a great Friday. We'll be seeing,
All right, y'all have
seeing
a
you
great
guys.
Friday.
And happy Independence Day.
Yes.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Okay. Sweet. We're on.
You ended it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we're just still going.
And it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Good information. We had at one point like 10 people watching.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah, I put it on mine too.
We need to put it online, and we need to come up with a.
Put it on mine.
Yep.
With the what?
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, we didn't break down the stick person.
Yeah.
It's all right. What I want to start doing, if we can put it on there, you guys, that we're going to be doing this do you want to do it weekly or 2 weeks?
Every other week, Friday.
Every other week on Friday, and just giving tidbits of information and breaking down the process, who we are, and how to create.
Yeah. And you can't use that iPad, right? Okay, great. That's perfect. Yeah. Because a lot of people, I think this is the key. A lot of people still don't know what we do.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like I told Abraham this morning, I said, hey, I'll go back 4 or 5 years ago. If somebody come and tell me, hey, personal development I was like, I know what it is. I don't know. I don't want to look into it, you know?
Like, oh, personal development. I don't need that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you just don't know. And I think we should talk about the stick person and what is it that we do and keep repeating it. And
what's producing our behaviors.
What's our perception and behaviors and habits. And if we start talking about that, I'm sure there's a lot of people, I mean, 97%.
Yeah.
Out of every 100 people, 97 need this. So
I'd say 90. If they don't need it, it's because they're walking on water and they can produce anything on command.
Yeah.
So we're talking about 99.9%. So.
Oh, we had 80 views.
80?
Nice.
On my page, it's showing.
Yeah, 80 total.
Nice.
So that means whether or not they stayed for a long time, it doesn't matter. It just showed, like, if they viewed it at all is what the 80 views are for.
Okay.
Not bad.
Good. We can continue doing it. We'll be getting more people on there.
Yeah,
You
for
have to
sure.
hold a picture of hundreds and hundreds of people.
Hold the image of
Thousands.
thousands.
Listen to this. I'll tell you something. When I want to buy, just a mindset. When I want to buy, I'm just sharing the experience. Don't judge me. No, I need to tell them because some people say stuff, and I just want to make sure to be upfront. So when I start buying the Zoom, right? I went and got the one that you can I think you can have over unlimited people on there, right? It was like one is 1,000, one is 500 or something. I went and got it, and they said, okay, we need to call you because that's not for everyone. We don't want to give that to just anyone. So they called me and said, hey, why you're wanting this unlimited? Do you do seminars or what is this for? There's very few accounts we have like that. I said, well, I'm starting to be a coach and personal and professional coach, and I'm seeing that I have million people online listening to me. And that guy laughed. He looked at me like I'm crazy. But he said, no, we can't give. Do you have that right now? I said, no, but I will. And he said, no, just go with this, the licensed one that is below 100 people, and just start with that. What I want to say, how you set the intention and what you see in your mind, that's what's going to happen. So I see us talking for millions and millions of people. I see us what Bob is doing, or more than what Bob is doing, be doing in soon, in near future. So, and if I'm just me thinking that, you guys are thinking something else.
No,
we all got to be seeing the same image.
It needs to be in alignment. No, 100%.
Yeah.
Because if not, you're collapsing the wave.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I see millions eventually. I mean, yeah, I see us all over People magazines, all over talking about, I Am Mastermind and how we're the place to go.
Yep.
That we're going to change everyone's,
changing the world.
change their lives. And
We're changing the world.
making a massive impact, giving the
everyone
people back
and
their
everything.
power. Yeah.
Yep. I want you to think about that. Leaving everyone and everything with the impression of increase wherever we go, wherever we're at.
Exactly.
Yep.
Imagine
So it's about.
Just ring got done just now. Our class is over. Beautiful sunshine coming out.
All right, guys, I got to jump off because I've got a 2:30.
All right,
Okay.
Have a good day.
You have a good day.
All right. Bye.
Bye.